Good evening and welcome to the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. Round 11 takes us to Long Beach, California. I am Tom Cairns in the commentary position. Alongside me is Jim Cunningham, who'll be with me to analyse the action on the gorgeous coast of Long Beach here on the streets. We are entering the final couple of minutes of qualifying, so we'll run down the championship scores as we enter the business end of the season. Noah Farrell is leading the way with the best 8 scores included so far out of 10. They dropped their worst 2 at the end of the season. Tony Jimenez second on 303, 8 points off the top. There's Luca Ferrari in third place on 298. There's Brad Filliger in fourth on 275. Then we've got Rob Ridgway fifth. Ludwig Ronson in sixth, tied with Scott Taylor. Then we've got Denny Cornu and Mehmet Taski. Eddie Amos and Johan Inet are 9th, 10th and 11th, followed by Scott Haddock, Kuchi Ito, Jerry Bull, Adam Talsma, Dorian Arroyo, Andy Flynn, Krish Patel, Nguyen, and Justin Fields. In the teams, or just running down the rest of the drivers, Andrew Harris has got 152 points. Albert Harari, Stefan Dodra, who won last week at Suzuka, is on 141 in 23rd place. Antoine Holstein, Patrick Williams, John McKenzie, Alexei Yukish, Simon Fessi, Linus Malm, Clark Williams, Amal Yunus, Amal, Ben Goya, Matthew Gracie, Marcello Caruso, Paul Distelli, Max Bartolotta, Philip Tassi, Tom Donoghue, Vincenzo Taumina, Jonathan Corella, Gillian Bussard, Oscar Belcardi, Gabriel Mella, Eddie Esquirol, and Noel Richie Robertson are in the 45 places there at the top. In terms of the teams' standings, at the top, we have Unity Racing Red on 332. There's Arts Dilia Red on 327. And RRS Transcendental Sandwiches on 322. So 10 points separating the top 3 teams there. But the fans are tuning in to see how the drivers are getting on here. Let's introduce Jim and get a word with him before the race gets underway. Jim, how are you?
Good to be here with you, Tom. Long Beach, California, kind of an iconic street circuit, certainly in the United States. Places it's a hot mess to get around sometimes. It causes difficulty. It's been a long-time favorite here in the United States and the Indy cars, and I guess Formula One is driven here at times. I guess just one of the more iconic street circuits in America for sure.
1983, I believe, the last time Formula One raced in Long Beach. But of course, it was known for John Watson's back at the grid drive, 22nd to the race win, the lowest grid position for a race winner in a Formula One race. Of course, Long Beach no longer on the F1 calendar these days, but it has hosted events like Formula E and IndyCar. And qualifying has just concluded. And looking at the results of that, it is the championship leader, Noah Farrell, that ended the session fastest by half a tenth over his nearest rival, Tony Jimenez. Max Bartolotta ended that session in 3rd position. Then it's Ludwig Fransson and Marius Anderson, who's aiming to make an impression here this evening ahead of Krish Patel, the highest of the Americans in the field. We've got 3 Americans, him, Robert Ridgway, and Patrick Williams, who are all gunning to really put on a show here in the States. Let's have a rundown on the grid then. We've got 34 drivers lined up for tonight. Noah Farrell on pole alongside Tony Jimenez. It's Max Bartolotta and Ludwig Fransson on the 2nd row. Marius Anderson and Krish Patel on row 3, followed by Yunus Amal and Mehmet Taski on the 4th row. Rob Ridgway and Brad Fulliger running out the top 10. Luca Ferroni and Kevin Byland are on row 6, followed by Simon Fessi and Gillian Bussard on the 7th row. Darren McAvunga and Patrick Williams on the 8th row. Kenzie Neuhoff and Scott Taylor on row 9, followed by Louis Iglesias and Eddie Amos. John McKenzie and Andrea Katzer on row 11, followed by Denny Cornu and Kuchi Ito. Marcello Caruso and Nguyen on the 13th row in 25th and 26th. Justin Fields and Eddie Esquirol on row 14. And it's Dorian Arroyo and Richard Van Veen running out the top 30. Ben Goya and Jose Garcia are 31st and 32nd. On the back row of the grid are Jose Gill and Adam Talsma.
All right. That was quite a grid there. between the team result, I mean, between reading the driver results and the grid, it's like a language challenge for you.
It can be at times. And just whilst we wait for the race to get underway, there are some some rules actually for the drivers in this one. They are not permitted to make any active overtakes until the exit of turn 8, the right-hander that leads onto East Seaside Way. And there's no passing into the final hairpin, as there is a good chance that incidents could happen if they decide to go for moves there. So that is not allowed. And if drivers get a slowdown, they must serve it offline without hindering other drivers. If they get it at turn 1, it's likely they'll need to move out the way between turns 4 and 5, as things could get very messy from there. The drivers are on the grid now, and we're good to go for 40 laps of action around Long Beach. The lights are coming on with 3, 4, and 5. Lights are on. Lights off. It's go in Long Beach. A good getaway. Very slow, in fact, actually, from the front row. But Fowl leads clear over Tony Jimenez, who is going to need to watch his mirrors because Max Bartolotto is coming at him. Remember, there's no active overtakes for the first half of the lap, so don't expect any changes as the field make their way through the left-hander of Toyota before they go through the Fountain Roundabout section here in Long Beach, the Aquarium Way, as it's otherwise known as. But so far, so good. Although I say that, I jinxed it. Noah Fowl has spun on the exit of turn number 3. That's a really, really bad blow for him. And he's dropped down the order big time. He's gone from the lead down to 10th position, Jim.
That was incredible. Just got away from him a little bit. And it doesn't take much with all these cars pouring through like that to lose a lot of spots.
It was turn 5, I was meant to say. Either way, he had gone round Noah Fowl. And that hands the lead over to Tony Jimenez, who has a golden opportunity now, actually, to reduce the arrears in the championship. 8 points was the gap, with the best scores included. We'll run down more on the championship situation as the field settles down. But one lap is done, and it's Jimenez in the lead, and Joes can start overtaking, Jim, now that they've gone through that magenta zone, and they can start making their moves. As we watch, I think that's Marius Anderson to the outside of Ludwig Ransson into Toyota. No move done just yet, but there we see Jimenez pulling clear.
Yeah, this the front of the field's going well. I think you're going to see the back half of this field start knotting up a lot. This is it's a tough circuit to get around, and all somebody's got to do is just have a little bit of a mistake, and it can really bunch up this field here.
Yeah, that's a car getting out of shape as well. I think that's Brad Fulliger who's gone down the order. So that's him down. Oh, that's contact! And Luca Ferrari's got involved. Noah Fowl, I think, has been taken out as well. A big twist in the title race. Noah Fowl and Enquires have come together, as has Luca Ferrari.
Oh, my word. Yeah, that was a big one.
An incredible twist. We didn't expect that.
Yeah,
at this early stage, and we're going to see a replay as to what exactly happened.
Oh,
that is.
So somebody got into that was Fowl that got into Fulliger, I think.
Yeah.
And I just wow.
There was something going on in the aftermath of that, Jim. Did you spot that as the lights of Fowl and that were pulled up? Yeah. So something else occurred whilst these three of Fulliger, Fowl, and Enquires came together. So Ferrari went in.
Oh yeah, sure was.
Yeah, there was another spin.
Yeah,
I didn't quite pick up on who that was. It might have been Darren Macavunga that got involved in.
The yellow car there, the black and yellow car is Kinsey Newhoff.
Yeah.
Not sure who the other.
Newhoff went for a spin, but I can imagine he had picked up damage through all of that. A lot of drivers have we've actually lost, Jim. I think Enquires kept going. I'm seeing that only 23 are circulating out the 34 that have started.
Wow. Yeah,
oh, that's a tap against the bolt. This goes back to what I was saying, Jim, about passing drivers at that hairpin.
Yeah, well, the hairpin is brutal, and it's really tough on broadcasters because every time they have to go so slow through there that it shows up as a crash on our thing. So if I jump to fake crashes during the night tonight at the hairpin, that's why it tells us there's a crash, but then it's just because they go so slow through there.
We'll receive a timing tower in a moment, but we're looking at John McKenzie on the tail of Marcello Caruso round the outside into Toyota. No way through just yet, although that was a nice slingshot pass from McKenzie, and he's made his way up into 11th position. We don't often see him that high, but given all the attrition we have had so far after only 3 laps, there is a good chance he could be on for his best result of the season.
I mean, it's incredible the amount of attrition. It's like, to be honest, it's like I've never seen before. I'm going to run through a sequence here real quick because everything have kind of settled in. These were all lap 2 crashes that I'm going to show you here.
That is that's one of the debutants, or one of the not so regulars of this series that went round. That's the Italian of Andrea Catta that got together, and there was actually some drivers trying to pass at that hairpin, but the briefing says, Jim, that you can't pass at that last hairpin. That is what can cause gridlocks.
Oh, we just looked inside somebody's apartment there.
Yeah.
All right, so this,
I hope we don't get done for voyeurism.
This is going to, I know, right? This is going to be the gridlock thing here. See, actually, they're stopping to avoid passing. It was kind of funny there because they didn't want to pass, and it had become gridlock there.
This is Jose Gil we're looking at. You can see someone had gone into the wall further up ahead.
It's all coming back around to that again. It's just ridiculous. Jimenez and Bertilla are getting racy up here.
That is Max Bertilla running in second place behind Tony Jimenez, who, as it stands, is expected to take the championship lead heading into the finale at Imola in 7 days' time. Bertilla is nowhere near in the championship fight, so he's got nothing to lose. He wants to go for his first victory in this series. It was Stefan Dodderer that won last week. Johan Annette has won 5 times. Brent Ruiz has won in the Red Bull Ring. Guillain Boussard won in Brands Hatch. Brad Filliger won at Hockenheim. Chris Patel won at Watkins Glen. And Stefan Dodderer won at Suzuka. Johan Annette had won the other races early on in the season. That is Adam Talsma, who starts at the back of the grid at Plum last. He's read his briefing and decided not to go for the pass at the last turn.
You get like a bonus point if they read the brief, actually follow through.
I wouldn't be against that.
I know, right? Not a lot.
By the way,
the battles have really settled out here on the track. I think these guys had their fill for the first couple of laps there, and settling in right now before they get back to heated action.
And there are other leaders coming out of the last turn. Jimenez and Bartolotta. Maris Anderson running in a strong P3.
Oh, yeah.
I will say that Noah Fau has definitely not gone any further. So that is him out of the race. I think that's his first retirement of the season as well for Noah Fau. A consistent run of form. His worst result had been a 32nd place finish at the opening round in Brazil. Well, that is no longer... Well, I say it's no longer. It's, at the moment, that's not going to count towards his score. But the 15th place finish that wasn't counted towards his score will now be applied. So he will get some points, I suppose, in a way.
Yeah.
But, you know, heading into the last round, he's got to try and improve his score to have any hope of becoming champion.
In actuality, though, that's a great score to be bringing in. 15th place. You know, most people's drop scores are pretty bad. To have a 15th place coming back in as your drop score gets replaced, that's pretty strong. Actually, you can get an amount of points out of it.
Tony Jimenez's worst scores have been 21st and 22nd. So providing he finishes higher than 21st in this race, he will improve his score. Right now he's in the race lead. He has yet to win this season, has Tony Jimenez. Today could be the day to change just that. Max Bartolotta, likewise, except the fact that he's nowhere near in the championship fight.
I am trying to fix traffic. right in the background.
Oh, you can just see Bertilla caught the curb so heavily, coming through turn 5 and down the back straight, otherwise known as the West Shoreline Drive. And as they come out of turns 6 and 7 and through 8 onto EC sideway. This is the back straight that heads towards turn 9. Are we going to see a change for position here? Well, with Bertilla that far back, I doubt that we're going to see him making a move. But it's too early in the race anyway to consider making any lunges on other drivers. Jimenez is doing everything right so far. In terms of other drivers who are in contention for the championship, Luca Ferrari, who got caught up in that melee on the second lap, I can tell you, in terms of where he is right now, where is he, Luca Ferrari? Because I think he came back out onto the racetrack.
20th place right now. There he is.
Yeah, so he's in 20th place, but he is almost down a lap. He's still actually on the lead lap, is Luca Ferrari, despite the problems he had earlier. So there's still a chance for him to improve his score if he can help it, although his worst scores have been 11th and 17th. So if he finishes lower...
That's the thing with him. He's so consistent. He doesn't... His drop scores aren't bad because he always runs pretty decent. This is more than likely going to be for the season.
And you can just see, coming out of the last corner, the next driver he'll be chasing will be Patrick Williams. Adam Talsma is, I think he's just lost a couple of positions on the exit, the hairpin. Luca Ferrari is going to be on the tail of those particular 4 drivers ahead of him, actually. So there's a chance for Adam Talsma to make up a few places. I think Jose Garcia has been in the walls somewhere because he's got a meatball next to his name on the timing tower. We'll find out exactly what he'd been up to.
That was a crash that...
It looks like he clipped the barrier there, Darren McAvanga. I don't think he is continuing to circulate round.
Simone Fessy.
Oh dear, that was far too risky. That could have put the driver ahead of him in the barrier. I highly doubt these have read the briefing, to be honest with you, Jim, because if they did, they wouldn't be...
This ain't good.
This is Luca Ferrari.
Yes.
It's over at turn 8. Oh, he got over the top. He got over the top of the car in front of him, which I believe was... Who was that he rode over the top? Was it Adam Talsma? I think it might have been Adam Talsma. He drove over the top. Luca, dearie me.
Talsma did enter pit lane, so yeah, that's probably who it was. Oh, Talsma clipped the tire barrier.
He did, and there was nothing Luca Ferrari could have done about that.
No, that was... So, yeah, Talsma, it looks like clips that tire barrier and just comes right over in front of Ferrari. Yep, look at that. And tough break there. How to have your day go like that.
That's the end of Luca Ferrari's race. I'm amazed that Garcia is still going, actually. He's running in 18th position. But there are the leaders at the moment.
Whoa.
One man...
Uh-oh. Missing somebody.
Looks like we've had a change for second... We've had a change for second place. You're absolutely right, Jim. Max Bertilla has been in the barrier. What did he do here?
Oh, he spun coming out of the hairpin.
He did.
But he's
not a good place to have a spin at either.
That's a bad spot. Can't see him coming. He did good. He rejoined safely. Good for him.
Yeah, well, at least he kept going there.
Yeah, he's in 6th place. He didn't tear the car up or anything, so sort of up his tires to boiling lava. Other than that, he should...
Change for position just behind him. Robert Ridgway's got through on Mehmet Taski, and now Taski's got Louis Iglesias, who's continuing to make an impression of his own. Well, yeah. I think that one, because it was on the... Yeah, I think because it was on the exit, I think that one might be condoned.
Okay, so what they don't want is they don't want you dive bombing somebody going...
It's just too tight of a corner. But if it's on the exit, I think that technically counts the fact that it was on the pit straight. That's the way I look at it. So Iglesias goes through and he chases after Robert Ridgway, who's in P7 on the road. But further up front, Marius Anderson doing a fine race so far. 1 second off the leader of Tony Jimenez, who doesn't really need to be pushing. This is very much coming down to the fact that it's a survival of the fittest race, to be honest with you, Jim, rather than how quick you are.
I would not have thought that, given, I mean, it's a tough circuit and everything. Conditions, perfect race conditions. You just not have thought that I have an attrition rate. That, reasonably high track temperature, but nothing.
On to lap number 13 that I can see on the timing tower, but a strong race from those that have kept out of trouble, and for those, well, it's an early bath, probably going for a swim on the coast here of California. Probably they just can't resist the fact that it's probably excruciatingly hot over in Long Beach, given the fact that we are at the end of November. So I'm not sure it would be exactly the hottest time of the year.
It should actually be really pleasant there. I forgot what the weather just. 26 degrees. Yeah, no, that's not bad. And the water temperature in California is like ice cold. Not that pleasant to swim in.
I mean, to be fair, if you had sunburn, you would happily go for a big douse in the water.
Well, to be honest, if you're in the UK, you guys probably would consider that decent water temp. Where I'm from, like Gulf of Mexico, our water temp much more pleasant to swim over here than it is over there. Like we had another little incident, maybe a island.
This is the Swede, Kevin Byland, who has been in the barrier 2 hour judgment, or does it just go straight on? I think it just went straight on.
All right.
He's performing a 3-point turn there, so no dramas there from Kevin Byland. And continuing on his way, and this is Louis Iglesias, who is continuing to really make a start here, make himself a start on the scene here of Long Beach, but not with going straight on like that into the barrier.
Oh, no.
I hope he hadn't taken any damage from that.
Like that second one could have potentially caused him some.
Oh no, he has got damage.
Does he?
Yeah, you can see on the timing tower.
Oh yeah, sure.
23 drivers are continuing from the 34 that have started. I think they've just seen a change now because Jose Garcia has been overtaken by Denny Cornu, who's continuing to make his way back through the field. The next car he's chasing is Adam Talsma. If you remember, had that clash with Luca Ferrani entering the back straight of the EC sideway.
What happened? We had another incident? Multiple guys just...
Iglesias and Mackenzie. I think he might have picked up some form of damage, I think, Mackenzie. Otherwise, he wouldn't have pitted in. But anyway, both Iglesias and Mackenzie have done their repair jobs and will rejoin ahead of Doyen Arroyo, who has done very well, actually, to keep himself out of trouble. Although, having said that, Arroyo is now going up into 13th position. Here goes Fessy on... is that Doyen Arroyo is going past? Yes, it is. Fessy through on Arroyo into turn 1.
Yeah, that was a nice clean pass right there. Fessy seems like he's flying right now.
He's setting some good times as well, I think, Simon Fessy, judging by the pace he is going at. Let's have a look to see what his lap times are like. So the last lap time he did was a 1:14.3. His best lap so far is a 1:13 dead. Comparing his lap times to maybe the leaders, it's not exactly the fastest times. I think the leaders are setting high 1 minute 12s, low 1 minute 13s, whereas those in the midfield, it's just like 113s and 114s. So it's not like the leaders are backing down at the moment. Jimenez continuing to control the race. The best lap of the race is with Ludovic Ranson, who's racing for the LR competition squad. And he is making a very good impression on this race as well, keeping up with the top two ahead of him. Gone in for another good result.
That was a really good lap. 1 minute 12.6. That's fast.
It's a very, very good time.
Donna Samal is right there, also pretty close. Lap time too, 1 minute 12.73. Fast lap right there. Been running pretty close together here for a while now. Fails.
Yunus Amal continuing on as he is sitting in 4th position. It's going to be a bit of a queue now, these cars in the fight for the lead, although none of them are exactly going for it. They've seen how the first part of the race had panned out for a lot of drivers. They won't want to throw away what they've got, which I think from a fan's perspective may be a little bit boring to watch, considering that we've seen so much drama already. But you can understand from a driver's point of view that they don't want to take any needless risks.
Yeah, the attrition in the race I just never expected. I mean, I know it's a tough track and all. I guess, part of the problem is, but the cars, which are relatively fragile, obviously not G, and you put that many of them on the circuit, it's going to get a lot of incidents like that. The track is not that wide in a lot of spots.
It's not at all. And the drivers are having to find their way around. I think the leaders are coming up to lap back markers. Kevin Byland is the next driver, which the leader will be going by in a moment. Tony Jimenez on the inside. Byland backs off and allows the leaders to go through, but he'll have to do the same to Marius Anderson, who does go by before they get to the fountain.
Rancon is kind of stuck. Separate them a little bit. That back marker brought Anderson and Jimenez together. Anderson's about to make a move here, it looks like.
Yeah, I think he's got more confidence in him actually now, as Anderson, compared to Jimenez. And Jimenez, well, even if he doesn't take the win tonight, he cannot afford to be in a tangle with anyone here if he is to remain in the hunt for the title. Because even if Noah Farrell doesn't score, which he won't do, he's one of the worst scores he's got going into this, or he will be applied to his score. There goes Marius Anderson into the lead past Tony Jimenez, and I think that move was coming from the moment he got right up to the gearbox and went on by. That was a great overtake from Anderson.
That was nice. And I think he took advantage of the fact that Jimenez knows that he really can't risk getting some damage here and in all these places. So
he's coming back though.
He sure is.
Yeah, and Anderson decided to not fight it, because if he tried to fight it, they probably would have gone for the goal. But he's come together with Ludovic Ranson. How on earth? No, that's damage done to both cars, and Yunus Amal's got involved.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's such a shame.
Oh, Anderson had the toe. Oh my!
There'll be some damage on Ranson's car, I think, because I thought his front wing had gone. I'm sure a front wing had gone on one of the cars there, but Ranson's kept going. It might have been Amal's front wing that got dented, but all of that drama has allowed Krish Patel to go up into 3rd position. But it's the end of the race, effectively, for Marius Anderson. He'll be absolutely kicking himself. It was just poor awareness from Anderson. That's completely on him.
Maybe nobody lost their wing there.
I thought I saw one go along across the road, maybe. But
oh, that's terrible! And Anderson having such a good run there, and like you said, he didn't even really fight the overtake, and. To not have awareness there, it's not like dug into a heated battle. He was kind of just let him go back through. Bertilla, man, he's slowly working his way back up.
And he's got Amal and Patel in front of him. I think that's a back marker, actually, that they've both gone through. But there is Bertilla, hoping to redeem himself following the spin he had on the exit of the hairpin. He just needs to remember that overtakes are forbidden at that corner. But now he can get into the slipstream and he'll back into 4th place. Bertilla, as quick as he has been, he has made he's had mistakes of his own, which he's having to recover. This one is a prime example of it. You just hope that Bertilla doesn't decide to make the same mistake or just carry too much speed into one of the corners, end up in the wall.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate spin there at the hairpin, but that is such a slow corner, and then you've got these cars have a pretty decent amount of power, and these street circuits tend to be really slick, you know, because they're got all the oils and it gets ground into the asphalt here from the regular cars driving daily on here. Some of these corners can be a nightmare.
We've got a battle going on between Luis Iglesias and Dorian Arroyo for down the order for 14th. They've swapped places a fair few times. I think Arroyo has got back through on Iglesias. Who's that behind in there? I think that might be Scott Taylor, who's tussling with Luis Iglesias. Yeah. So Scott Taylor, who we've not really spoken a lot about in this race so far, has got up into 15th position. Arroyo's dropped down the order to 16th place now. Taylor's got by him. It'll be John McKenzie, who was one of those that pitted in not too long ago for repairs. I can say that Marius Anderson has come back out on circuit in 19th place, but he is over a lap down on the leaders.
Yeah. Back out there, try to earn some of those points. Sometimes every point matters. You're kind of having a little bit of a spirited battle. Bertilla.
That's also behind Chris Patel. He's already got by Yunus Amal. This is going to be the overtake, I think, on Yunus Amal. Around the outside, on the exit of the EC side way.
Nice move.
Or down the inside, rather. That was so robust, so risky, but it paid off.
Oh, it was nice. Yeah, that was a very good. You could tell there was a lot of confidence in that pass. You know?
We'll head back to live images as Tony Jimenez is continuing to stroke along in the lead. 3 seconds clear now over Ludwig Vanson. Damage to Rob Ridgway's car, unfortunately. Byland and Cornu have also got meatballs to their names, which indicates they've had damage. Eddie Iscarol, who's running in 10th, has also hit the barrier somewhere, or he's hit someone. So there's going to be more pit lane activity, I believe.
Escarole.
And there we look. The man in 10th place, Justin Fields. What have you found, Jim?
Well, Robert Ridgway's got a meatball, and it's I think like towed in. Happened.
He has. Well, this is actually the aftermath, Jim. You can just tell by the way he's fighting with the machine. He's hit the barrier somewhere earlier on in the lap.
Right, nothing. I don't see where it shows that he hit the barrier prior to that, but oh no, what? It's
Ranson's been in the wall somewhere. That's another contender for the win. In the walls. And Tony Jimenez can just take it easy, I think, from here on in. He's got such a margin over everyone else. This is lap 24. We're over halfway through the 11th round of the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League Season 4 of 2025. We've got one more round to go next week at Imola, where the championship is expected to be decided there. But when you look at Jimenez, who is in the lead, if he was to win this one, he would improve his score by, I believe it's 43 points. He would better it by, because these worst results have been 21st and 22nd, which they wouldn't count. Bartolotti's got to slow down for your information, and I think Ransom may have gone into the pit lane too quickly, so he'll be serving a penalty in due course. But Jimenez is on course for 43 championship points. Yeah, go on, Jim.
No, I was going to say, talk about insult to injury, huh? Happened. I don't. No, that was just. I don't know. I cannot find the incident. Got into the wall.
Going back to the conversation about the championship, Noah Farrell, with him out of the race, his 15th place finish in Brands Hatch will now be applied to his championship total. So he will improve his championship total by a total of 29 points, which would move him on to 340 points. Jimenez, by winning this race, will be on 346. So he'll be 6 points clear of Noah Farrell heading into the last round. Luca Ferrani, who's also out of the race, his 11th place finish in Watkins Glen will be applied to his total, which is a 33-point round that he achieved, moving him on to 331. Brad Filliger, who has gone no further in this race, that is another non-finish to his name. He's already missed 2 races, and he retired in Montreal, so he won't be improving his total of 275.
Yeah, this is, well, you're doing a good job of keeping up with the active, adding people's scores in. Right up to date.
David Ranson, who's already had 3 non-finishes to his name this season, he won't want to get another one here if he's to keep his slim hopes of the championship alive, but I think his hopes for that are effectively done. So it looks like it's going to be either Farrell, Jimenez, or Ferrari coming away with the championship trophy this season.
I thought I saw. I'm sorry. I thought I saw an incident. Quick, I got distracted.
Well, I saw that Bartolotta had been in the wars somewhere, because he was running in the top 6, and now he is back to pit lane. Down towards the final hairpin of the lap. Is this the same one as before? I think it's it's the same one as before, where he spun on the exit of the hairpin.
Justin.
He's probably going to carry too much speed into turn 1. Now, he kept going after this, but this is what I think is a clout.
Oh.
The barrier, well, that was more than a clout. He caught the rear brakes. He knew he wasn't going to make the corner, and he just applied too much brake pressure.
Yeah, well, here's the Bartolotta thing, but I want to come back and look at that from a chopper view.
There was a car coming out of the pit lane.
Right into it.
He got put off by the back marker.
Yeah. That forced him to tow. I can see Justin Fields in. That to me looked like a brake bias issue there completely. Hit him so, oh, yeah, just tried to lock him up because he knew he was going to go, oh, oh my gosh, and that was Bartolotta he hit.
Both of them in the wars. Kevin Byland in the pits now as well.
So
Danny Corney hasn't got any
Fields
further.
Lock him up and keep going straight because he saw the wreck with Bartolotta, maybe?
I don't know.
That was strange.
So all the drama has allowed a lot of the underdogs to move up into pretty good scoring positions. You look at Eddie Amos, for instance, 5th place.
Yeah.
In the number 69 racing for the Twin Dragons racing. Eddie Amos is from Wales, hence why the team name is what it is. But he's done a super job so far. He's running ahead of Marcello Caruso, who is another 4 seconds back to him. And then we look further on at Mehmet Taski on course for a good result in 4th place. I think that's Mehmet Taski's best result of the season, unless I'm mistaken with that. It will be his best result of the season for Mehmet Taski, if he can remain there. Yunus Amal, who I think once upon a time was running towards the top end of the championship, but he's on course for 3rd position here in Long Beach and going super so far, with there being only 12 laps left of this race.
Yeah, you said survival of the fittest there at about 18 or 19, 20 laps somewhere. I was still like, wow, but boy, it really has turned into survival, hasn't it?
And it's not done yet. Chris Patel running in 2nd place now, the highest of the American drivers in the field. All 3 Americans are still racing so far, with Patel in 2nd, Ridgway in 8th, and Williams in 9th.
We don't have Maverick here.
No, we don't. But one driver that has not continued on is Yunus Amal, who's running in 3rd place, and he's caught the barrier.
One after another.
Yeah. He came up behind Justin Fields to lap, I think. Saw the car wiggling around, actually. Oh, he went for it. Oh, couldn't stop it.
Oh, my gosh.
I wonder if that was a problem with his sim, hence why the car just went straight on.
Yeah, that certainly looked like it. That definitely, he made no effort to turn that car whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was clearly and still at full speed too. Oh yeah, that's got to be.
Did he cloak the barrier the corner before though, Jim? Because I saw the car twitch on the exit. Yeah.
So right before that, right there.
Yeah. Maybe. Probably. I wonder if that maybe what contributed to it.
Oh, I mean, he's still flying though. I don't know that to me there was absolute zero effort to stop that car. That's got to be some kind of equipment. Interesting if I'd pop in the pits there and let us know. Would love to know what if happened there. That was.
Not long to go here in Long Beach into the final quarter of this race. And we're looking at Patrick Williams running in 8th place now. There is his countryman, Robert Ridgway, in P7. That accident for Amal has allowed Mehmet Taski through into 3rd place and Eddie Amos into 4th.
Yeah.
That is by far the highest I've ever seen Eddie Amos make in a race.
Eddie Amos is running them dragon scales on there. That's why. Dragon scale livery.
Yeah, he could be on for a podium if he's lucky enough at this rate. Yeah. We've got 19 drivers circulating around this circuit. Simon Fessi's posted his best lap of the race so far, continuing to set the world alight with the lap times he's producing, considering he was he further down the order actually, Jim, when we were speaking about him about the lap times he was producing.
He was probably like, I don't know, 10th or 12th, I think, when we brought up his lap times earlier. Or how fast he looked. It just seemed to look like he had a lot of pace the way cars. Doing a good run.
Top 15 are all on the lead lap. Eddie Esquirol is the last driver there in 15th place. Marius Anderson, who was involved in the accident with likes of Yunus Amal and Ludwig Runsong, I believe. He's running in 14th and chasing down Dorian Arroyo. I would probably say Anderson will get by Arroyo and maybe McKenzie before this race is over. But there's only 8 laps to go for Tony Jimenez once this lap is over. So not long left in this.
So Unisamal looks like popped into chat up there. What do you have to say?
Saying that blue flag was disgusted, which is interesting, and saying, yeah, he hit the wall on the exit of the corner before he went straight on at the left-hander.
Okay. So he did hit the wall there, and that's what caused him to...
Yeah.
Well, that's good to know.
Simon
I wonder
Fessy.
what the blue flag thing meant. I wonder about that.
I'm not too sure. I'll let him discuss that in the chat. Simon Fessy chasing after Marcello Caruso for 5th position. He's got around about 8 seconds to make up.
Big gap there, yeah.
Yeah, it's probably too big to make an impression. Further down, Louis Iglesias got by Ludwig Ranson, and that's the reason why Ranson has hit the barrier, and that is his race run. Carried too much speed, and
I just lost it on entry.
He did. That's another retirement from this.
Goodness, we got more
incredible race.
Got more incidents going on.
That's Scott Taylor.
Feeling this is not going to end well. Oh no! See, that's one of those. That's one of those false crashes that the thing stated that was a full-on crash, and well, I promised you guys that would happen at some point in time.
Jimenez on his way to his first win of the season, and it would also propel him into the championship lead. There goes Justin Fields on Jose Garcia for position. That's good enough for 16th place. So that's another point coming in the way for Justin Fields after what's been a tricky race. But we don't expect drivers in races like these to make up so many positions they have done. And that's a car in the barrier now. Who's that that's gone right? Is that Anderson?
That is Anderson, yeah. From bad to worse day for Anderson.
Well, he's rejoining 12th behind Taylor and Arroyo.
Oh,
but yeah.
That was a decent save, actually. A 360 and a half. Kept it going.
Well, at least he's kept the car going, unlike a lot of others.
That's the truth.
There's a little bit of jostling going on at the final hairpin on the exit. I don't think there's too much drama happening right now. Best lap of the race from Krish Patel, 1 minute 12.7, compared to the best lap time that Jimenez has done, a 1:12.9. So you could just see that Patel's getting the gap down. Jimenez's victory is far from secure at the moment with 6 laps to go. Can Patel snatch victory away here, Jim?
I mean, he's lapping significantly faster because that 1:12.71 was the fastest lap of the race, like you mentioned, whereas Jimenez did a 1:13.1. So, you know, that's 4/10 right there on one lap. And so, yeah, it's potential. There's catch him.
Yeah. But Marcus might play their role in this as well.
Sure.
The next driver that is due to be lapped by Tony Jimenez is Scott Taylor in 10th position.
10th position.
Well, there he is. He's a little bit further up the road, but I think the leader will catch up to him before this race is over. So comparing the lap times that Jimenez and Patel have done, 1 minute 13.1 for Jimenez, 1 minute 12.9 for Patel, and that is that's a significant reduction. As Fessy, I believe, or is it Iglesias that's just gone down the order? It's Robert Ridgway who's crashed this time. So turn 4. This is turn 5.
There it is.
Oh, it's that bump. It's the bump that's what caught him out.
Car had to be fell down to right at 2 seconds. Closing. He See the leader now.
You can definitely see the leader that's getting caught up behind the back marker. That is not...
That's going on back here. Arroyo for position.
That's Anderson into the top 10. The next driver he'll be chasing is Scott Taylor, who's too far up the road. He won't be able to do anything about him. So I think 10th is as good as what Anderson will be getting out of this. But there we see Patel.
Dropping left and right. Justin Fields is at an in.
Now Fields, who was shown that he's in 15th position. We'll find out exactly what he's been up to in a moment. Not long to go in this race, and Patel's doing his utmost to catch him. That's Adam Talsma, who will be in the way. He won't want to be getting involved in this. Talsma running in a respectable 14th position after starting 34th and last.
See if it works out that he's in a bad spot now. Ridgway popped into chat and said he's dead now. That was it. Wow, man, we got 9 cars on the lead. I really did. This just completely caught me off.
Well, we've got 3 laps left. Can Patel get by Tony Jimenez for the win? Looking at where he is in the championship, Chris Patel, he has missed a few races and retired from some, and he's only finished on 4 occasions this season. But a second place finish will most certainly do for him. He's already won in Austin. Could a second victory in the US be on the cards for Patel tonight? Or has Jimenez done enough to just hold on here? Kevin Byland has damaged his car yet again, so we expect him to go back to pit lane very, very shortly. If he was to remain there, we're only looking at 16 finishes.
Just amazing. We'd have a battle here. 11th and 12th.
This is Arroyo and Esquirol.
Like these two have been battling like earlier in the day as well. They were together battling.
You can see the drive that Esquirol's trying to find coming out of there, but no way through at the moment. Arroyo, he's doing his best to hold him back. He is still ahead of the Frenchman. But the leaders have gone over the line to begin their penultimate. Looking at the comparison in the lap times between those two, 113.3 for Jimenez, 112.9 for Patel. 4/10 was the reduction on that last lap. But Jimenez, he's coming, but I think Jimenez has got this one under his control here, Jim, unless he makes a mistake somewhere around this circuit.
There's always that intimidation factor. That's not that Jimenez is going to be intimidated. Really, but you're watching your mirror, you're thinking about the guy behind you, and the next thing sometimes you miss your apex or something like that, and the time's coming down. He's down to a second and a quarter now. Tell you, 1 lap to go after.
Yep, out of the last corner, these two. And I think, despite the heroics that Patel is doing, I think Jimenez should be able to hold on here. The white flag has been waved to the leaders, and they will begin their last lap here at Long Beach. Jimenez on course for his first win of the campaign and move into the lead, heading into the final round at Imola after Noah Farrell crashed out. But you can see that Patel is doing his utmost to keep up with him in case anything further develops involving him. But I think Jimenez has really controlled this one, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, it certainly looks that way. We're down to less than a second now. He may get a peek at him somewhere, but it may only be one.
He won't be able to do it at the hairpin because no overtakes are allowed through that. But we'll see if he gets good drive out of it. Maybe a drag race to the line if he's lucky enough. But Jimenez is very, very close now. Patel has got the gap down to under a second. But it's not about how close the gap is when you head over the line. It's the result of which position you are in. And Jimenez has been able to hold Patel off right to the very end.
Oh.
Out of the last corner comes Jimenez. And it's the Spaniard who wins in Long Beach. Tony Jimenez snatches the championship lead with 1 round remaining, which will be at Imola next week. Chris Patel finishes in 2nd place. And in 3rd will be Mehmet Taski, who is over half a minute behind. And what an effort it has been from him. As we see a battle between Arroyo and Esquirrel to the line. Both of these are a lap down. Marius Anderson a lap down in 10th place. And you can just see the back markers heading over the line. Mehmet Taski will be in 3rd place for the Turkish iRacing Formula team. And then it'll be Eddie Amos with his best ever result in 4th position for Twin Dragons. A super effort. Marcello Caruso will hold off Simon Fessi, who got the gap down to less than a second, but it wasn't enough. He has to settle for 6th place ahead of Louis Iglesias, Patrick Williams, and Scott Taylor, the last drivers on the lead lap.
Yeah, that's amazing. 9 drivers on. I mean, you know, again, you expect to maybe see that in rain events and that, but here we are, just nice, beautiful, dry, sunny California. 9 drivers in. Wow.
The race is finally done, and Scott Taylor decides
I love it when
they wanted to go out with a bang there, quite literally.
Yeah, we got it.
The race result at Long Beach has concluded with Tony Jimenez snatching his 1st win of the season, with Chris Patel in 2nd place. Mehmet Taski 3rd. Eddie Amos in 4th place. A great job from him. Marcelo Caruso 5th, ahead of Simon Fessi. Louis Iglesias 7th, with Patrick Williams 8th, and Scott Taylor, the last driver, on the lead lap in 9th. Marius Anderson in 10th, followed by Dorian Arroyo and Eddie Esquirrel in 12th. Then we have John McKenzie and Adam Telsmer, and Justin Fields and Jose Garcia, who are the last drivers to finish. 16 out of the 34 made it to the end. The ones that didn't finish: Robert Whitchway, Kevin Byland, Ludwig Ranson, Eunice Amel, Max Bartolotta, Denny Cornu, Nguyen, Kenzie Newhoff, Luca Ferrani, Darren McAvunga, Brad Fulliger, Kuchi Ito, Galim Buzar, Ben Goya, Noah Fau, Andrea Kata, Jose Gill, and Richard Van Veen.
Wow. I'm blown away, man. I don't even know what to say.
3 drivers are in contention for the driver's title. With Fau not scoring in this round, will allow one of his previous worst scores to be applied to his total. So the situation is this: Noah Fau moves on to 29 points plus 311. So he's on 340. Jimenez with that victory, he goes on to 346. And Luca Ferrani, with him not scoring here, his 11th place finish in Watkins Glen will be applied. So he's moved from 298 to 331. All the others are out of contention. So it's a 3-way fight for the Drivers' Championship, with Jimenez the firm favourite, Fau not too far off, and Ferrani pretty much needing a miracle if he is to become champion. Jim, your last thoughts before we leave here?
I mean, I'm still just blown away. I just can't believe that's the way that race ended up. But you never know. That's why they get out on track and race them. And Robert Ridgway is apparently a funny guy in chat. Somebody else, Smile, came in and said something, and he said, "Hello, fellow afterlife member." They're hanging out. All the dead cars are hanging out in pits. In the chat. That's pretty. But anyway, yeah, no, just shocked, surprised. I just expect this. Good race, just crazy.
Crazy indeed. And we'll do it all over again next week at Imola for the season finale. Who will be crowned champion? The final iGPFun Super Formula Lights champion of 2025. Well, you know where to tune in. Don't forget to like and subscribe as well, so you won't miss anything on the JP Broadcasting YouTube channel. We'll do it all again to be crowning a champion in the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League. I am Tom Cairns with Jim Cunningham, and we'll speak to you again soon when the iGPFun Super Formula Lights League returns.